Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll continue with module 4 photogrammetry. In today's video presentation you all will understand three different topics. One is ground control for photography, mosaics and overlaps. Now what is ground control? Those points are ground control points are those points on the ground whose coordinates in the spatial coordinate system are known. Now what is spatial coordinate system? It is wherein x, y and z axis, the distance are known. So that is a spatial coordinate system. So these ground control points are on the ground itself, okay, and when an aerial photography is done, those ground control points are visible in the aerial photographs. The ground control points are used to help accurately position your map in relation to the real world around it. So when there are n number of photographs taken, so imagine this to be your first photograph and this is the first coordinate. Similarly, second photograph is taken and this is your ground coordinate which is visible in the second photograph. So when you need to arrange these photographs, you arrange it in such a way that both get overlapped on each other so that you get one single photograph. So ground control helps in doing that. The ground control points are used to help accurately position your map in relation to the real world around it. The extent of ground control is determined by scale of the map, navigation control and catastrophic process by which the map will be produced. Now scale of the map. If the scale is very large, then number of ground control points have to be more. Now if the scale of the map is less, then you need less number of coordinates. What is catastrophic process? It is a series of steps that we follow to go from an unmapped data set to finally form a map. So that is a catastrophic process. Now how actually ground control points look? They actually look somewhat like this. They look like this on the ground. So these are the people marking ground control points for photography onto the ground. And this is how the aerial photograph looks, and here this point is the ground control point which is enlarged here. Similarly, this is also an image of aerial photography, and this is used as your ground control point. So in that is the enlarged picture here, which is the ground control point. Ground control survey for establishing control points can be divided into two parts. One is basic control, the second one is photo control. What is basic control? Basic network is established of triangulation station, traverse station, azimuth marks, benchmarks, etc. Basic controls will be marked on the ground itself with help of triangulation, then traverse station, azimuth marks, that is XYZ coordinates or northing, and benchmarks are established on the ground. The second one is photo control. Now photo control is where in horizontal positions or elevations are established on the image itself to identify the points on the photograph with respect to basic control. These photo control are those points or points itself which are established on the horizontal position on the image so that those points are identified on the photograph with respect to the basic control. So photo control can be done in two methods. One is post marking control, the other one is pre marking control. Now what is post marking control? The photo control points are selected after aerial photography. Now once the photo has been taken, we select the points on the photograph after the photo has been taken, and these points are taken with respect to the basic control points which are already present on the ground and which are visible on the image. For an example, so if this is my photo which I have taken, and on the ground already there was a ground control or basic control which was marked and it is visible on the photograph. So I select one point or ground control point such that it is in relation with respect to the basic control, that is the xyz direction, x, y and z. Z is nothing but the height of that particular point is known with respect to this basic control point. So that kind of marking or control is called as post control marking, for post marking control. Then pre marking control, ground points or control points are selected on the ground first and then included in the photograph, and the mark points on the ground can be identified on subsequent photographs. What it means is, if this is the ground which has to be surveyed, there are there are basic control points and pre-marked control points on the ground itself, and once the aerial photography has been taken which is of a smaller size, there will be visibility of the ground control point and the pre-marked control point itself. So that type of photography is called as pre-marked control. These control points are selected such that they are sharp and clear in the plan. So whenever plan has been marked or the aerial plan is being shooted or being captured, so these control points should be such that they are clear and they should be sharp enough so that it is clearly visible in the photograph. I hope you all are clear with what is ground control points. We move to new topic, that is mosaics. Mosaics. Now what is mosaics? Mosaics is originally an Italian word which means mosaico, wherein a picture or a pattern is produced by arranging small pieces of stones or tiles. So when small pieces of tiles, if it is a rectangular shape, the other can be any other shape, but it should help in connecting with each other. So that is the meaning of mosaico. That is an Italian word. Now how this will be useful in photogrammetry survey? Mosaicing is a process of assembling a series of images. So when there are n number of images taken of the ground, okay, there are ground control points visible on these photos. How we arrange them? We arrange them such that those ground control points will overlap with each other and we get a series of photos in a single strip. So that is called as mosaicing. The result is an image with a fixed field of view greater than that of a single image. So single image is a image of a smaller place. So when we join number of photos, we get a map of a larger size. So that is called as mosaicing. Now this mosaicing is of four different types: controlled mosaicing, uncontrolled mosaicing, index mosaicing and strip mosaic. Now what is controlled mosaic? So controlled mosaic is one wherein the photographs are carefully assembled so that the horizontal control points agree with respect to previously plotted position. That is, which I explained already. So if this is the first image, this is the second image, it has control point somewhere here. In the second image also, it will be a continuation part, and this ground control point is visible here also. So controlled mosaicing is where this ground control point and this ground control point will overlap with each other in a when these two photos will be merged. So that is called as controlled mosaicing. In uncontrolled mosaicing, what happens? The assembly is done such that without any plotted control. That is, the if this is ground control point, this is the first image, this is the ground control point of the second image. Similarly, third image ground control point will be present. So how we arrange these? We arrange it according to 1 to 3 number itself, but the ground control points will not be overlapping each other. I hope you all understood what is uncontrolled mosaicing, wherein the series of photographs will be arranged one after the other in ascending order or descending order itself, but the ground control points will not be overlapping in this one. Then index mosaicing. Now sequence of photos are arranged in such that the photo number and the flight number of each photo is visible on the assembly. So every photograph that we take, aerial photograph that we take, will have a photo number, say 1, and whenever the flight is flying, that will also have a flight number. So the flight number, this is your second photograph along with the flight number, third photograph along with the flight number. So when these are arranged such that the photo number and the flight number both will be visible, then that type of arrangement is called as index mosaic. Now what is a strip mosaic? Strip mosaic is the assembly of the photos in a single strip. In a single strip, series of photos are arranged in a single strip, then that type of mosaic is called as a strip mosaic. This is an example of stripped mosaic, wherein this is the first image. There are ground control points which are not visible in this image, but they are present. So there is an overlap which is happening here. When they are arranged in series in terms of strips, then that is called as a strip mosaic. I hope you all are clear with the concept of mosaicing. Now we go to overlapping. So as you all know what is overlap, when one thing comes over the other and certain part wherein the first part and the second part, for an example, if this is an image, this is also second image, this portion, this shaded portion is called as overlapping. So these overlaps, what I explained, can be of two types. One is a forward overlap, the second one is a lateral overlap. Now what is forward overlap and lateral overlap? Whenever the flight is moving in the flight direction, okay, that is called, and the photographs which are taken in the flight direction is called as forward overlap. And once it changes the direction and comes back in the same lateral position with respect to this one, then what photographs are taken and how much is the overlap, that is called as lateral overlap. So this part is called as forward overlap. Similarly, this blue thing is called as lateral overlap. Whenever a flight is moving forward, the overlap percentage is taken in such a way that it is 50 to 65%. Okay, it is 50 to 65%, and lateral overlap may be from 20 to 40 percentage. Now, how do we determine that is 50 to 60, or that is the percentage of overlap depends on, so if this is my flight direction, this is the flight assembled with a photographic uh, camera. It takes the photo of the first image, it moves forward. After moving off at a certain distance, it takes another image. So this portion, which has the portion which is same in both the photographs, that is called as overlap. So the percentage of overlap depends on at what position the flight or the camera is capturing the picture. So this is called as overlap. So here you can see the image that this is the flight direction which is moving forward, and the overlap is 30%. This is called as lateral overlap, and that is when this flight directions are parallel to each other. So that is lateral overlap. And forward overlap is wherein in the direction of the flight itself the photos have been taken. So that is a forward overlap. Here you can clearly identify what is a forward overlap and a lateral overlap. See here, this is a forward overlap, this is lateral overlap. I hope you all are clear with what is overlapping and what are the two different types of overlap. So we'll stop here for today. In the next part, we'll continue with the derivations with respect to photogrammetry itself. Thank you.